for joining me. Welcome to my channel. I'm Laura, and I live here and garden here in Connecticut, Zone 6. Today, I want to talk to you guys about separating seedlings. Everybody has their own way of doing it, and I'm just going to go through how I separate my seedlings. So thank you for joining me, and let's get to it. So when I start my seedlings in a tray like this, I usually seed about 4 or 5 seeds per cell. I do this for a couple of reasons. The first reason is germination. When I'm working with something that I haven't grown before, I am not sure how well it's going to germinate, so I want to overseed to account for a lack of germination. That's the first reason. The second reason I do it personally is because I don't have a lot of room in my house, and so this kind of just buys me some time. They can grow up in here for a few weeks before I have to separate them, find more room for them. So those are my main reasons for putting so many seeds per cell in a small container like this. But now once they get to be sprouted, and unfortunately I did a little bit too much on these. I think I did probably like 7 or 8 per cell. But once they sprout and they get to be a little bit bigger, smaller than this, but a little bit bigger, I will thin them out to 3 or 4 per cell. And when I did that, they already started putting on some growth. So I know they are ready to be in their own little cells. So let's get them moving, yeah? I did want to mention, when some people separate their seedlings, they put them directly into a larger pot to let them grow up and be in that pot until they're ready to be planted out. With smaller ones like this, I don't really like to do that because they don't have a very big root system. And when I've done it in the past, I usually use solo cups, like plastic cups, when I'm moving them into the pot that they're going to be in right before they get transplanted out. I found that they get stunted. They will put on a lot of root growth, but the top won't grow very much. So I like to put them in their own individual cells for a little while until they put on some more growth before I move them into a bigger cell, a bigger cup. So that's just one thing I wanted to mention. So I have 2 kinds of ageratum that I'm going to be separating today. Ageratum is also known as floss flower. It's like a little button that comes in purple, dark purple, and white. I'm not sure if they come in other colors, but those are the colors that I like. So I grew these last year, and they grew incredibly well for me. Now, I do have more than I need. This is 72 count cell tray. Is that how you say? So I'm gonna cut this down to 36 each for these. I think I have more than that here, but 36 each will be fine for me. I have quite a lot of room to fill, but I also like to start extras because I like to give away plants on Mother's Day. I just like to have like a bunch to put in the back of my car. We go to my sister-in-law's house for Mother's Day, and then I will let everybody choose what they want instead of just giving them, whatever I feel like. So that's why I like to start extra. Plus, I just like starting seeds. It's fun. If you guys haven't done it, you really should. If you have the room, of course. So, okay, so I have a couple things here to help me. The first thing is these wide popsicle sticks, tongue depressor, whatever you call it. That's going to help me lift them out of their current tray. Then I also have these long wooden skewers. Some people use chopsticks, and I think that's like ideal, but I don't have any, so I'm going to use these, and this is just to help tease them apart. Mostly I use my fingers for that. I'm a very tactile person, and I like to feel what's going on, so that you might not see me use this too much. But this will also help me get them into their new cells. So here we go. Okay, when I do this, I want to make sure that the soil that they're in isn't too wet that will just make it really hard to separate. So this is not too wet. Oops. You might want to be a little bit more gentle than that. So I'm going to pop it out and put the whole cell in my hand. Then I'm just going to take my fingers and just kind of tease it apart. This one's already giving up, and that's a weed. So we're just gonna be very gentle. Gentle is the name of the game. And when I have one that pops out, I'll just set it aside to a cell. These are really nice. These are separating out really easily. That's always good. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure I have a nice little hole. They do not have much of a root system at all. See? Okay, I'm going to make sure the roots go into the hole as gently as possible. You have to excuse, my dog is right next to me. He's making a lot of noise. And then I'm just going to tamp it down super, super gentle. And that's it. It's really easy. I'll zoom in on the next one for you. Gently. In you go. And beautiful. Perfect. I'm going to do that for the entire thing, so I'll speed it up for you. Okay, when I water them in, I like to use a turkey baster. So I just fill it up. This way I can really control where the water goes. I use this to kind of make them just settle into their little spots. Not too wet. Kind of neaten up the whole situation here. Okay, now they're all set. I will take these little guys back inside my house and put them in a south-facing window, and I'll just let them grow up until they're a little bit bigger, and then I will probably move them into larger pots and give some away and keep a whole lot of them. So I'm pretty excited. Of course, I'll have to label them. I am sure I know which is which. This is the light purple, this is the dark purple. So I'll label them as soon as I'm done. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, please leave them below. Thanks again. Have a good one.